Hey guys, this is Candle, and I really thought I wasn't going to do this again this year, but welcome to another collection update. This, I promise, is the final one of the year. So we're going to go ahead kick things off with the first couple games that I talked about previously at the end of the last video that I was already planning on getting, like they were on their way. So we got Vagrant Story for the PS1. I had this game years ago, but it wasn't complete. I was missing the demo disc here, and so I ended up trading it away at some point. But it's really good to have it again. This game is actually loosely tied to the Final Fantasy franchise. It is a spin-off of a spin-off. This is set in the same world as Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 12. So it's set in the world of Ivalice, and I think it's from the same guy who did Tactics as well. So very, very much glad to have this back in my collection. I also picked up Jedi Fallen Order. Really, really good game. It's from Respawn, who are the guys who did Titanfall, Titanfall 2, and Apex Legends. So it's not really what you would expect from them, considering it's A, a Star Wars game, and B, it's not a shooter. It's actually more along the lines of a Metroidvania or a Souls-like game. A little bit of Uncharted thrown in there too. And best of all, even though it's an EA Star Wars game, there's no microtransaction bullshit, no online bullshit at all. None whatsoever. Really, really glad to have that. Of course, I also picked up Shenmue III, which is sitting in my PS4 right now, waiting for me to play it. I've been waiting for more of a bigger chunk of time to actually jump into it. Really excited to see how the story continues from here. Unfortunately, it does not end here. There are apparently more games they're planning. I have no idea whether or not they're actually going to come out. Hopefully, we won't be waiting another 18 years for the next one. But definitely looking forward to this. I'll probably only put a few hours into it myself and then just watch somebody else play it, because I've heard the gameplay is pretty much the same as Shenmue 1 and 2, and I really didn't particularly enjoy playing those. I did enjoy watching the story unfold, but I didn't really enjoy playing them so much. But beyond that, did you guys know that GameStop takes broken controllers in trade? Because I didn't until recently, but I had a couple busted DualShock 4s laying around. So I traded those in, as well as my spare copies of Watch Dogs 2 and Suikoden, and ended up walking away with some Resident Evil games. Got Resident Evil 4, which I previously owned on the Wii. Actually, I do currently own it on the Wii, and previously also owned on the PS2. Never actually gotten too far into this one because you can't move while you aim, and that's kind of always bugged me a bit. But I'll be giving that another try as well. And then Resident Evil 5, which is a weird co-op one. I previously played this on PS3 with a friend, but we never actually finished it. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. And then Resident Evil 7, which I do have on PC and finished on PC. Really, really enjoyed it. I really love this one. However, there's one problem. The VR mode is exclusive to PlayStation. There has never been an update, as far as I'm aware, to put the VR mode on PC, which really sucks because I have an Oculus Rift. I do not have PlayStation VR at this time, but maybe with this and with Tetris Effect in my collection, which I recently played, really a lot of fun. Maybe I might be wanting to look into getting a PlayStation VR sometime soon. Anyways, the rest of this I got Black Friday weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into these. I've got the SSX Reboot from 2012 for PS3. Never really played SSX before. I'm looking forward to this. Basically, snowboarding game. So I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into this one at some point. Also got Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Wii. This is one of the two storybook Sonic games. The other one was Sonic and the Black Knight. This one is kind of inspired by Scheherazad's 1001 Arabian Nights, and the other one is kind of inspired by Arthurian legend. Then we also picked up Xbox 360 copy of Call of Duty Ghosts. I previously played this on the Xbox One, and oh, this actually has multiple discs. I didn't even realize that because I hadn't looked at this. There's an install disc and a game disc. I didn't realize this was a 2-disc game on the 360. But yeah, with this added to my collection, the only Call of Duty game on the 360 I'm missing now is World at War, which I have an OEM disc for PC. That was actually the first Call of Duty game I ever played. And then here's one I probably will never actually touch, but it is Kinect Joyride. So this goes alongside Kinectimals and Kinect Adventure to add to my Kinect library. So it's good to have it there, have it added in. Beyond that, I also picked up Finally, the Sega Genesis Mini. Best Buy was a lot of places actually, but I got this one from Best Buy. They were running a Black Friday weekend sale where this was retailing for $50 instead of $80. And alongside it, I also picked up the Retrobit 6-button arcade pad for USB. This is actually officially licensed by Sega too, which is really awesome. Now I have an official Sega Genesis gamepad I can use on my computer without having to use an adapter or anything. But it also works here, and this includes 2 of the 3-button gamepads as well, and they're USB as well. A lot of really good games on here, most of which I've never played before. You have some of the ones I grew up with. You have Echo, you have Sonic 2. But there's also Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion, Mega Man The Wily Wars, Earthworm Jim, Alex Kidd, Altered Beast, Columns. A lot of really, really good games on this, including the ever-elusive Tetris. Tetris on the Genesis is an extremely, extremely rare game. I want to get it eventually, but it's going to be a long time before I can afford it. There's only like half a dozen North American copies known to exist, and they easily fetch like thousands of dollars because, again, they're so rare. And then this also includes Darius, the Genesis version of Darius, which is, I don't think it was ever actually officially released. It was an arcade game, so I don't think the Genesis port was ever actually officially released until now. And Sega's not the first one to do that, put unreleased games on their mini system, because Nintendo put Star Fox 2 on the Sega, not the Sega, the Super Nintendo Mini. But yeah, the other thing is Mega Man Wily Wars. I don't think that ever got a physical release outside of maybe Japan. So it's good to have that in here as well. I haven't really touched this much. I've opened it up to take a look, and the system itself is really small. But it's amazing the amount of quality they put into this, considering the previous efforts were all those like really, really crappy at-games clone consoles, which were good because they allowed you to use the original cartridges, but the sound emulation was terrible, the video quality was absolutely dog shit. But still, it was really good to see this. The only downside is, because it's one of those mini consoles, you only have the 40 games that are on here. It does not allow you to do cartridges, which really sucks. It'd be nice to have an official, Sega licensed way to play, your original Genesis cartridges in HD. But yeah, of course I was going to pick this up at some point, considering, I grew up with a Genesis as a kid. I've got a Genesis Model 2 right now, but I grew up with a Model 1, and then later the North American exclusive Model 3. And eventually I'll get those back again as well. And one of these days I'm going to get a Sega CD and a 32X as well. And it's just like, one of these days I'm also going to get the analog Sega SG, Mega SG. But that's going to be a little while. Anyways, that is it for this collection update. I shall see you guys in the new year. I promise there won't be another one between now and New Year's. So I'll see you guys in the new year. And hopefully we'll be getting more games, more retro games. I'm definitely looking forward to getting more retro games in the next few months. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.